My name is Nancy Phillips, and I'm on the Murfreesboro City School Board of Education. I'm what I call a Yankee Billy, in that my family was from Tennessee, but I was actually born in Michigan, in Dearborn, Michigan, right outside Detroit, because my dad was up there working. So we would go back and forth and back and forth. But the hometown I really claim is Portland, Tennessee, because that's where I spent most of my formative years. It's a small town in Sumner County, famous for strawberries. Pick your own, they were delicious. So I grew up on a farm. My whole family has been very committed to education because we have always believed that it was the great equalizer. You know, it doesn't matter what your background is, how poor, how rich, that education is what makes the difference. And so from the early age, we were taught to really value education. I'm married to a wonderful man. We got married when we were in college, and we're still married many years later. We have 2 fabulous children. Yes, I'm a proud mom. Way back in 1998, elected school board members were pretty new. I think it was only the 2nd or 3rd election cycle where they had been elected. Before that, they were appointed. And I had 2 little bitty kids, and part of what I would do from time to time to get to know Murfreesboro as a community better is put it on City Channel 3, the government access channel, which is of course this channel, and I would watch some of the meetings. I would watch the city council meetings and various and sundry other things, and I felt like I was really getting to know something about the city and the personalities involved and the dynamics of running a city just a little bit from an observer's point of view. Well, I saw in the newspaper, the Daily News Journal, they did a big article about the election, how there were 3 seats available in the school board election, but that only 2 incumbents were running. And I was so surprised because I thought in a city as dedicated to education as Murfreesboro, that surely people would be lining up to give back to the community. So I mentioned it to my husband. I said, oh, look what they said in the paper. You know, people aren't running for the school board. And he said, why don't you? That was really the first time that idea had been introduced to me. Because for all of a sudden, somebody else believing that you could do something made it seem possible. There was another election in 2000, and that time I ran and I did win, and I've been very, very grateful for the opportunity to serve. It became a dream of mine to find some way to showcase our kids in our classrooms. Now, the shows on PBS, they're fabulous, but those are other people's kids and other people's classrooms. So I wanted to focus on ours, and I began to talk to some wonderful people. This is not something I did by myself, and we were able to bring forth this show, Adventures in Murfreesboro. And I knew that I wanted some kind of character that would host the show, because I didn't want to particularly be on camera myself. And so I began to think about what animal we could come up with which would be unique and identifiable with the kids. It would have a very childlike personality. We have a fabulous school system. It did not happen yesterday. There have been administrators, principals, vice principals, lunchroom ladies, bus drivers, just teachers, kids, parents, people for generations have made Murfreesboro City Schools the place it is, and school board members, long before I came along, you know, that really invested heart and soul to make our city system what it is. Some of the changes I have seen on the board, of course, there's a lot more accountability required in the state. We're dotting a lot of I's and crossing a lot of T's and jumping through a lot of hoops. But people don't set up these accountability rules out of malice. This is not done with any malice towards school systems. This is done in a tremendous effort to make our schools better, to give our children more opportunities, to make them more competitive in the global community.